Number 1. Knowledge is power. Number 2. Good books are true friends. Number 3. Blushing is the livery of virtue. Number 4. Nothing is to be feared but fear. Number 5. Revenge is a kind of wild justice. Number 6. Praise is the reflection of virtue. Number 7. Time is the greatest of innovators. Number 8. The remedy is worse than the disease. Number 9. God has placed no limit to intellect. Number 10. States are great engines moving slowly. Number 11. I take all knowledge to be my province. Number 12. All the operations of nature are gradual. Number 13. To grief there is a limit, not so to fear. Number 14. I hold every man a debtor to his profession. Number 15. A man dies as often as he loses his friends. Number 16. Virtue is like a rich stone, best plain set. Number 17. It was well said that envy keeps no holidays. Number 18. Lookers on many times see more than gamesters. Number 19. The only hope of science is genuine induction. Number 20. Anger makes dull men witty, but keeps them poor. Number 21. Fortune is not content to do a man one ill turn. Number 22. Providence for war is the best prevention of it. Number 23. Mathematics are the most abstracted of knowledge. Number 24. The mold of a man's fortune is in his own hands. Number 25. Secrecy and suits goes a great weight towards success. Number 26. Books must follow sciences, and not sciences books. Number 27. Fortune makes him fool, whom she makes her darling. Number 28. Nothing is pleasant that is not spiced with variety. Number 29. He that studieth revenge keepeth his own wounds green. Number 30. A wise man will make more opportunities than he finds. Number 31. God hangs the greatest weights upon the smallest wires. Number 32. Atheism is rather in the life than in the heart of man. Number 33. Let him be sure to leave other men their turn to speak. Number 34. A liar is a bravo towards God and a coward towards men. Number 35. Men's thoughts are much according to their inclination. Number 36. He sleeps well who is not conscious that he sleeps ill. Number 37. A pleasing figure is a perpetual letter of recommendation. Number 38. The flood of grief decreaseth when it can swell no longer. Number 39. Whoever is out of patience is out of possession of his soul. Number 40. Contempt putteth an edge upon anger more than the hurt itself. Number 41. If vices were profitable, the virtuous man would be the sinner. Number 42. That is the best part of beauty which a picture cannot express. Number 43. Business is bought at a dear hand where there is small dispatch. Number 44. A man finds himself 7 years older the day after his marriage. Number 45. The less people speak of their greatness the more we think of it. Number 46. Discourse ought to be as a field, without coming home to any man. Number 47. Even reproof, from authority ought to be grave, and not taunting. Number 48. It is seldom that beautiful persons are otherwise of great virtue. Number 49. The greatest trust between man and man is trust of giving counsel. Number 50. Rather to excite your judgment briefly than to inform it tediously. Number 51. Self-respect is, next to religion, the chiefest bridle of all vices. Number 52. A gamester, the greater master he is in his art, the worse man he is. Number 53. Death openeth the gate to good fame, and extinguished envy. Number 54. Our humanity were a poor thing but for the divinity that stirs within us. Number 55. In states, arms and learning have a concurrence or near sequence in time. Number 56. The genius, wit, and spirit of a nation are discovered by their proverbs. Number 57. In nature things move violently to their place, and calmly in their place. Number 58. Hope is a leaf joy which may be beaten out to a great extension, like gold. Number 59. The best receipt, best to work and best to take, is the admonition of a friend. Number 60. All things are admired either because they are new or because they are great. Number 61. Virtue is like precious odors, most fragrant when they are incensed or crushed. Number 62. Do not overwork the mind any more than the body, do everything with moderation. Number 63. There is no affectation in passion, for that putteth a man out of his precepts. Number 64. There is no greater wisdom than well to time the beginning and outsets of things. Number 65. Those who want friends to open themselves unto are cannibals of their own hearts. Number 66. As threshing separates the corn from the chaff, so does affliction purify virtue. Number 67. When things are come to the execution, there is no secrecy comparable to celerity. Number 68. Wives are young men's mistresses, companions for middle age, and old men's nurses. Number 69. When all is done, the help of good counsel is that which setteth business straight. Number 70. Fortitude is the marshal of thought, the armor of the will, and the fort of reason. Number 71. Fortune is like a market, where many times if you wait a little the price will fall. Number 72. Death is a friend of ours, and he that is not ready to entertain him is not at home. Number 73. Prosperity is the blessing of the Old Testament, adversity is the blessing of the New. Number 74. If a man read little, he had need have much cunning to seem to know that he doth not. Number 75. It is said of untrue valor that some men's valors are in the eyes of them that look on. Number 76. God never wrought miracles to convince atheism, because his ordinary works convince it. Number 77. Old wood best to burn, old wine to drink, old friends to trust, and aid authors to read. Number 78. Nero was wont to say of his master, Seneca, that his style was like mortar without lime. Number 79. The greatest vicissitude of things amongst men is the vicissitude of sects and religions. Number 80. Logic differeth from rhetoric as the fist from the palm, the one close, the other at large. Number 81. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. Number 82. In taking revenge a man is but equal to his enemy, but in passing it over he is his superior. Number 83. Too much magnifying of man or matter doth irritate contradiction, and procure envy and scorn. Number 84. All authority must be out of a man's self, turned either upon an art, or upon a man. Number 85. Philosophy, when superficially studied, excites doubt, when thoroughly explored, it dispels it. Number 86. My name and memory I leave to men's charitable speeches, to foreign nations, and to the next age. Number 87. There was never law or sect or opinion did so much magnify goodness as the Christian religion doth. Number 88. Prosperity is not without many fears and distastes, and adversity is not without comforts and hopes. Number 89. If a man can play the true logician, and have judgment as well as invention, he may do great matters. Number 90. Praise from the common people is generally false, and rather follows vain persons than virtuous ones. Number 91. The introduction of noble inventions seems to hold by far the most excellent place among human actions. Number 92. Studies teach not their own use, but that is a wisdom without them, and above them, won by observation. Number 93. Surely the continual habit of dissimulation is but a weak and sluggish cunning, and not greatly politic. Number 94. If I might control the literature of the household, I would guarantee the well-being of church and state. Number 95. The zeal which begins with hypocrisy must conclude in treachery. At first it deceives, at last it betrays. Number 96. It is as natural to die as to be born, and to a little infant, perhaps, the one is as painful as the other. Number 97. Costly followers are not to be liked, lest while a man maketh his train longer, he makes his wings shorter. Number 98. Men leave their riches either to their kindred or their friends, and moderate portions prosper best in both. Number 99. For cleanness of body was ever esteemed to proceed from a due reverence to God, to society, and to ourselves. Number 100. It is the nature of extreme self-lovers as they will set an house on fire and it were but to roast their eggs. Number 101. The proverb is true, that light gains make heavy purses, for light gains come often, great gains now and then. Number 102. No man in effect doth accompany with others but he learneth, ere he is aware, some gesture, voice, or fashion. Number 103. All the crimes on earth do not destroy so much of the human race, nor alienate so much property as drunkenness. Number 104. He that travels into a country before he has some entrance into the language, goeth to school and not to travel. Number 105. Men believe that their reason governs their words, but it often happens the words have power to react on reason. Number 106. If a man look sharply and attentively, he shall see fortune, for, though she be blind, yet she is not invisible. Number 107. Merit in good works is the end of man's motion, and conscience of the same is the accomplishment of man's rest. Number 108. We cannot think too oft there is a never, never sleeping eye, which reads the heart, and registers our thoughts. Number 109. It is good discretion not to make too much of any man at the first, because one cannot hold out that proportion. Number 110. Great effects come of industry and perseverance, for audacity doth almost bind and mate the weaker sort of minds. Number 111. He that hath a satirical vein, as he maketh others afraid of his wit, so he had need be afraid of others' memory. Number 112. Time is like a river, in which metals and solid substances are sunk, while chaff and straws swim upon the surface. Number 113. A little philosophy inclineth a man's mind to atheism, but depth in philosophy bringeth men's minds about to religion. Number 114. It hath been well said that the arch-flatterer, with whom all the petty flatterers have intelligence, is a man's self. Number 115. The breath of flowers is far sweeter in the air, where it comes and goes like the warbling of music, than in the hand. Number 116. It is scarce possible at once to admire and excel an author, as water rises no higher than the reservoir it falls from. Number 117. Men possessing minds which are morose, solemn, and inflexible enjoy generally a greater share of dignity than of happiness. Number 118. There is the supreme and indissoluble consanguinity between men, of which the Heathen poet saith, "We are all his generation." Number 119. Glorious men are the scorn of wise men, the admiration of fools, the idols of parasites, and the slaves of their own vaunts. Number 120. The images of men's wits and knowledge remain in books, exempted from the worry of time and capable of perpetual renovation. Number 121. A steady hand in military affairs is more requisite than in peace, because an error committed in war may prove irremediable. Number 122. There never was found, in any age of the world, either religion or law that did so highly exalt the public good as the Bible. Number 123. There is no secrecy comparable to celerity, Like the motion of a bullet in the air, it flies so swift that it outruns the eye. Number 124. Whosoever in the frame of his nature and affections is unfit for friendship, he taketh it of the beast, and not from humanity. Number 125. He that defers his charity until he is dead is, if a man weighs it rightly, rather liberal of another man's goods than his own. Number 126. It is most true that a natural and secret hatred and aversion towards society, in any man, hath somewhat of the savage beast. Number 127. The poets did well to conjoin music and medicine, because the office of medicine is but to tune the curious harp of man's body. Number 128. Knowledge is not a shop for profit or sale, but a rich storehouse for the glory of the Creator, and the relief of men's estate. Number 129. I will say positively and resolutely that is it impossible an elective monarchy should be so free and absolute as an hereditary. Number 130. Books are true friends that will never flatter nor dissemble, be you but true to yourself, and you shall need no other comfort. Number 131. In regard of our deliverance past, and our danger present and to come, let us look up to God, and every man reform his own ways. Number 132. To be free-minded and cheerfully disposed at hours of meat and sleep and of exercise is one of the best precepts of long-lasting. Number 133. Houses are built to live in more than to look on, therefore let use be preferred before uniformity, except where both may be had. Number 134. Dramatical or representative poesy is, as it were, a visible history, for it sets out the image of things as if they were present. Number 135. Not to resolve is to resolve, and many times it breeds as many necessities, and engageth as far in some other sort, as to resolve. Number 136. As atheism is in all respects hateful, so in this, that it depriveth human nature of the means to exalt itself above human frailty. Number 137. Read not to contradict and confute, nor to believe and take for granted, nor to find talk and discourse, but to weigh and consider. Number 138. An angry man who suppresses his passions thinks worse than he speaks, and an angry man that will chide speaks worse than he thinks. Number 139. I had rather believe all the fables in the legends and the Talmud and the Al-Quran, than that this universal frame is without a mind. Number 140. Sir Amias Paulet, when he saw too much haste made in any matter, was wont to say, stay a while, that we may make an end the sooner. Number 141. Usury dulls and damps all industries, improvements, and new inventions, wherein money would be stirring if it were not for this slug. Number 142. The honorablest part of talk is to give the occasion, and again to moderate and pass to somewhat else, for then a man leads the dance. Number 143. It will be found a work of no small difficulty to dispossess a vice from the heart, where long possession begins to plead prescription. Number 144. I knew a wise man who had it for a byword when he saw men hasten to a conclusion, stay a little, that we may make an end the sooner. Number 145. A man would die, though he were neither valiant nor miserable, only upon a weariness to do the same thing so often over and over again. Number 146. Mr. Bedtime said that virtuous men were like some herbs and spices, that give not out their sweet smell till they be broken or crushed. Number 147. Truth is a naked and open daylight, that doth not show the masks and mummeries of the world half so stately and daintily as candle-lights. Number 148. God Almighty first planted a garden, and indeed it is the purest of human pleasures, it is the greatest refreshment to the spirits of man. Number 149. The vine produces more grapes when it is young, but better grapes for wine when it is old, because its juices are more perfectly concocted. Number 150. Histories make men wise, poets, witty, The mathematics, subtle, natural philosophy, deep, moral, grave, logic and rhetoric, able to contend. Number 151. Children sweeten labors, but they make misfortunes more bitter. They increase the cares of life, but they mitigate the remembrance of death. Number 152. To speak in a mean, the virtue of prosperity is temperance. The virtue of adversity is fortitude, which in morals is the more heroic virtue. Number 153. I know not how, but martial men are given to love. I think it is but as they are given to wine, for perils commonly asked to be paid in pleasures. Number 154. He that cometh to seek after knowledge with a mind to scorn and censure shall be sure to find matter for his humor, but none for his instruction. Number 155. The problem is, whether a man constantly and strongly believing that such a thing shall be, it don't help anything to the effecting of the thing. Number 156. The master of superstition is the people, and in all superstition wise men follow fools, and arguments are fitted to practice in a reversed order. Number 157. Men commonly think according to their inclinations, speak according to their learning and imbibed opinions, but generally act according to custom. Number 158. Thales was reputed to be one of the wise men who made answer to the question when a man should marry, a young man not yet, an old man not at all. Number 159. Libraries are as the shrines where all the relics of saints full of true virtue, and that without delusion or imposture, are preserved and reposed. Number 160. In contemplation, if a man begin with certainties, he shall end in doubts, but if he will be content to begin with doubts, he shall end in certainties. Number 161. Natures that have much heat, and great and violent desires and perturbations, are not ripe for action till they have passed the meridian of their years. Number 162. The great atheists are, indeed, the hypocrites, which are ever handling holy things, but without feeling, so as they must need be cauterized in the end. Number 163. Of all things known to mortals, wine is the most powerful and effectual for exciting and inflaming the passions of mankind, being common fuel to them all. Number 164. If money be not thy servant, it will be thy master. The covetous man cannot so properly be said to possess wealth, as that it may be said to possess him. Number 165. In revenge a man is but even with his enemy, for it is a princely thing to pardon, and Solomon saith it is the glory of a man to pass over a transgression. Number 166. When any of the four pillars of government are mainly shaken or weakened, which are religion, justice, counsel and treasure, men need to pray for fair weather. Number 167. Three means to fortify belief are experience, reason, and authority. Of these the more potent is authority, for belief upon reason or experience will stagger. Number 168. It is a revered thing to see an ancient castle not in decay, how much more to behold an ancient family which have stood against the waves and weathers of time. Number 169. The general root of superstition is that men observe when things hit, and not when they miss, and commit to memory the one, and forget and pass over the other. Number 170. Suspicions among thoughts are like bats amongst birds, they ever fly at twilight, they are to be repressed, or, at least, well guarded, for they cloud the mind. Number 171. A good name is like precious ointment, it filleth all round about, and will not easily away, for the odors of ointments are more durable than those of flowers. Number 172. Lukewarm persons think they may accommodate points of religion by middle ways and witty reconcilements, as if they would make an arbitrament between God and man. Number 173. There never was found in any age of the world, either philosopher or sect, or law or discipline, which did so highly exalt the public good as the Christian faith. Number 174. whereas they have sacrificed to themselves, they become sacrifices to the inconstancy of fortune, whose wings they thought, by their self-wisdom, to have pinioned. Number 175. Physic is of little use to a temperate person, for a man's own observation on what he finds does him good, and what hurts him is the best physic to preserve health. Number 176. Were it not better for a man in a farm to set up one great light, or branching candlestick of lights, than to go about with a rushlight into every dark corner? Number 177. Round dealing is the honor of man's nature, and a mixture of falsehood is like alloy in gold and silver, which may make the metal work the better, but it imbecileth it. Number 178. Aphorisms, representing a knowledge broken, do invite men to inquire further, whereas methods carrying the show of a total do secure men, as if they were at furthest. Number 179. The ways to enrich are many, and most of them foul. Parsimony is one of the best, and yet is not innocent, for it withholdeth men from works of liberality and charity. Number 180. There is in human nature generally more of the fool than of the wise, and therefore those faculties by which the foolish part of men's minds are taken are more potent. Number 181. Seek not proud riches, but such as thou mayst get justly, use soberly, distribute cheerfully, and leave contentedly, yet have no abstract nor friarly contempt of them. Number 182. It had been hard to have put more truth and untruth together in the few words than in that speech. Whosoever is delighted with solitude is either a wild beast or a god. Number 183. Prosperity is the blessing of the Old Testament, adversity is the blessing of the New, which carrieth the greater benediction, and the clearer revelation of God's favor. Number 184. Judges ought to be more learned than witty, more reverent than plausible, and more advised than confident. Above all things, integrity is their portion and proper virtue. Number 185. Unmarried men are best friends, best masters, best servants, but not always best subjects, for they are like to run away, and almost all fugitives are of that condition. Number 186. Certainly the contemplation of death, as the wages of sin, and passage to another world, is holy and religious, but the fear of it, as a tribute due unto nature, is weak. Number 187. Certainly, if a man will but keep of an even hand, his ordinary expenses ought to be but to the half of his receipts, and if he thinks to wax rich, but to the third part. Number 188. Generally he perceived in men of devout simplicity this opinion, that the secrets of nature were the secrets of God, part of that glory into which man is not to press too boldly. Number 189. There is this difference between happiness and wisdom: he that thinks himself the happiest man is really so, but he that thinks himself the wisest is generally the greatest fool. Number 190. Generally it is good to commit the beginning of all great actions to Argus with his 100 eyes, and the end to Briareus with his 100 hands, first to watch, and then to speed. Number 191. They that deny God destroy man's nobility, for certainly man is of kin to the beasts by his body, and if he be not of kin to God by his spirit, he is a base and ignoble creature. Number 192. Clear and round dealing is the honor of man's nature, the mixture of falsehood is like alloy in coin of gold and silver, which may make the metal work the better, but it imbecileth it. Number 193. The first creation of God in the works of the days was the light of the sense, the last was the light of the reason, and his Sabbath work ever since is the illumination of the Spirit. Number 194. We take cunning for a sinister or crooked wisdom, and certainly there is a great difference between a cunning man and a wise man, not only in point of honesty, but in point of ability. Number 195. The desire of power in excess caused angels to fall, the desire of knowledge in excess caused man to fall, but in charity is no excess, neither can man nor angels come into danger by it. Number 196. There is nothing that makes a man suspect much, more than to know little, and, therefore, men should remedy suspicion by procuring to know more, and not to keep their suspicions to smother. Number 197. It cannot be denied but outward accidents conduce much to fortune's favor, opportunity, death of others, occasion fitting virtue, but chiefly the mold of a man's fortune is in his own hands. Number 198. As to jest, there ought to be certain things privileged from it, namely, religion, matters of state, great persons, and man's present business of importance, and any case that deserveth pity. Number 199. In the youth of a state, arms do flourish, in the middle age of a state, learning, and then both of them together for a time. In the declining age of a state, mechanical arts and merchandise. Number 200. A man that hath no virtue in himself ever envieth virtue in others, for men's minds will either feed upon their own good or upon others' evil, and who wanteth the one will prey upon the other. Number 201. Neither the naked hand nor the understanding, left to itself, can do much. The work is accomplished by instruments and helps, of which the need is not less for the understanding than the hand. Number 202. There is no way but to meditate and ruminate well upon the effects of anger, how it troubles man's life, and the best time to do this is to look back upon anger when the fit is thoroughly over. Number 203. God grant that we may contend with other churches as the vine with the olive, which of us shall bear the best fruit, but not as the briar with the thistle, which of us shall be most unprofitable. Number 204. But little do men perceive what solitude is, and how far it extendeth. For a crowd is not company, and faces are but a gallery of pictures, and talk but a tinkling cymbal, where there is no love. Number 205. A man's nature is best perceived in privateness, for there is no affectation, in passion, for that putteth a man out of his precepts, and in a new case or experiment, for the custom leaveth him. Number 206. Out of monuments, names, words, proverbs, traditions, private records and evidences, fragments of stories, passages of books, and the like, we do save and recover somewhat from the deluge of time. Number 207. Men of noble birth are noted to be envious towards new men when they rise, for the distance is all told, and it is like a deceit of the eye, that when others come on they think themselves going back. Number 208. It were better to have no opinion of God at all than such an opinion as is unworthy of him, for the one is unbelief, and the other is contumely, and certainly superstition is the reproach of the deity. Number 209. The surest way to prevent seditious, if the times do bear it, is to take away the matter of them. For if there be fuel prepared, it is hard to tell whence the spark shall come that shall set it on fire. Number 210. The eye of the understanding is like the eye of the sense, for as you may see great objects through small crannies or holes, so you may see great axioms of nature through small and contemptible instances. Number 211. There are two books laid before us to study, to prevent our falling into error. First, the volume of the Scriptures, which reveal the will of God, then the volume of the creatures, which express his power. Number 212. A man would do well to carry a pencil in his pocket, and write down the thoughts of the moment. Those that come unsought for are commonly the most valuable, and should be secured, because they seldom return. Number 213. The road to true philosophy is precisely the same with that which leads to true religion, and from both the one and the other, unless we would enter in as little children, we must expect to be totally excluded. Number 214. He that gives good advice builds with one hand, he that gives good counsel and example builds with the other, but he that gives good admonition and bad example builds with one hand and pulls down with the other. Number 215. No receipt openeth the heart but a true friend, to whom you may impart griefs, joys, fears, hopes, suspicions, counsels, and whatsoever lieth upon the heart to oppress it, in a kind of civil shrift or confession. Number 216. Many have made witty invectives against usury. They say that it is a pity the devil should have God's part, which is the tithe, that the usurer is the greatest Sabbath breaker, because his plough goeth every Sunday. Number 217. He that hath wife and children hath given hostages to fortune, for they are impediments to great enterprises, either of virtue or mischief. Certainly wife and children are a kind of discipline of humanity. Number 218. Imagination I understand to be the representation of an individual thought. Imagination is of three kinds, joined with belief of that which is to come, joined with memory of that which is past, and of things present. Number 219. Men in great places are thrice servants, servants of the sovereign or state, servants of fame, and servants of business, so that they have no freedom, neither in their persons, nor in their actions, nor in their times. Number 220. There is some good in public envy, whereas in private there is none, for public envy is as an ostracism that eclipseth men when they grow too great, and therefore it is a bridle also to great ones to keep within bounds. Number 221. Beauty is as summer fruits, which are easy to corrupt and cannot last, and for the most part it makes a dissolute youth, and an age a little out of countenance, but if it light well, it makes virtues shine and vice blush. Number 222. Bashfulness is a great hindrance to a man, both in uttering his sentiments and in understanding what is proposed to him. It is therefore good to press forward with discretion, both in discourse and company of the better sort. Number 223. Dissimulation is but a faint kind of policy or wisdom, for it asketh a strong wit and a strong heart to know when to tell truth, and to do it. Therefore, it is the weaker sort of politicians that are the greatest dissemblers. Number 224. Ambition is like choler, which is a humor that maketh men active, earnest, full of alacrity, and stirring, if it be not stopped. But if it be stopped, and cannot have its way, it becometh fiery, and thereby malign and venomous. Number 225. Goodness I call the habit, and goodness of nature the inclination. This of all the virtues and dignities of the mind, is the greatest, being the character of the deity, and without it man is a busy, mischievous, wretched thing. Number 226. Reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. Histories make men wise, poets, witty, the mathematics, subtle, natural philosophy, deep, moral, grave, logic and rhetoric, able to contend. Number 227. The most tolerable sort of revenge is for those wrongs which there is no law to remedy. But then let a man take heed that the revenge be such as there is no law to punish, else a man's enemy is still beforehand, and is 2 for 1. Number 228. A man shall see, where there is a house full of children, 1 or 2 of the eldest restricted, and the youngest ruined by indulgence, but in the midst, some that are, as it were, forgotten, who many times, nevertheless, prove the best. Number 229. Learning hath his infancy, when it is but beginning and almost childish, then his youth, when it is luxuriant and juvenile, then his strength of years, when it is solid and reduced, and lastly his old age, when it waxeth dry and exhaust. Number 230. Habit, if wisely and skillfully formed, becomes truly a second nature, as the common saying is, but unskillfully and unmethodically directed, it will be, as it were, the ape of nature, which imitates nothing to the life, but only clumsily and awkwardly. Number 231. The joys of parents are secret, and so are their griefs and fears. They cannot utter the one, nor they will not utter the other. Children sweeten labors, but they make misfortunes more bitter, increase the cares of life, but they mitigate the remembrance of death. Number 232. The world's a bubble, and the life of man less than a span, in his conception wretched, from the womb so to the tomb, cursed from his cradle, and brought up to years with cares and fears. Who then to frail mortality shall trust, but limbs the water, or but writes in dust. Number 233. It is a mere and miserable solitude to want true friends, without which the world is but a wilderness. And even in this scene also of solitude, whosoever in the frame of his nature and affections is unfit for friendship, he taketh it of the beast, and not from humanity. Number 234. Believe not much them that seem to despise riches, for they despise them that despair of them, and none are worse when they come to them. Be not penny wise, riches have wings, and sometimes they fly away of themselves, sometimes they must be set flying to bring in more. Number 235. He is truly well bred who knows when to value and when to despise those national peculiarities, which are regarded by some with so much observance. A traveler of taste at once perceives that the wise are polite all the world over, but that fools are polite only at home. Number 236. Fame is like a river, that beareth up things light and swollen, and drowns things weighty and solid. But if persons of quality and judgment concur, then it filleth all round about, and will not easily away, for the odours of ointments are more durable than those of flowers. Number 237. The way of fortune is like the Milky Way in the sky, which is a meeting or knot of a number of small stars, not seen asunder, but giving light together. So are there a number of little and scarce discerned virtues, or rather faculties and customs, that make men fortunate. Number 238. Socrates was pronounced by the oracle of Delphos to be the wisest man in Greece, which he would turn from himself ironically, saying that could be nothing in him to verify the oracle, except this, that he was not wise and knew it, and others were not wise and knew it not. Number 239. Goodness answers to the theological virtue charity, and admits no excess but error. The desire of power in excess caused the angels to fall. The desire of knowledge in excess caused man to fall, but in charity there is no excess, neither can angel nor man come in danger by it. Number 240. It was prettily devised of Aesop, the fly sat upon the axletree of the chariot wheel, and said, What a dust do I raise! So are there some vain persons that, whatsoever goeth alone or moveth upon greater means, if they have never so little hand in it, they think it is they that carry it. Number 241. Tunes and airs have in themselves some affinity with the affections, as merry tunes, doleful tunes, solemn tunes, tunes inclining men's minds to pity, warlike tunes, so that it is no marvel if they alter the spirits, considering that tunes have a predisposition to the motion of the spirits. Number 242. This communicating of a man's self to his friend works two contrary effects, for it redoubleth joys, and cutteth griefs in halves, for there is no man that imparteth his joys to his friend but he enjoyeth the more, and no man that imparteth his griefs to his friend, but he grieveth the less. Number 243. Some are so close and reserved that they will not show their wares but by a dark light, and seem always to keep back somewhat, and when they know within themselves they speak of that which they do not well know, would nevertheless seem to others to know of that which they may not well speak. Number 244. To choose time is to save time, and an unseasonable motion is but beating the air. There be three parts of business: the preparation, the debate or examination, and the perfection, whereof, if you look for dispatch, let the middle only be the work of many, and the first and last the work of few. Number 245. There is as much difference between the counsel that a friend giveth and that a man giveth himself, as there is between the counsel of a friend and of a flatterer. For there is no such flatterer as a man's self, and there is no such remedy against flattery of a man's self as the liberty of a friend. Number 246. Superstition, without avail, is a deformed thing, for, as it addeth deformity to an ape to be so like a man, so the similitude of superstition to religion makes it the more deformed, and as wholesome meat corrupteth to little worms, so good forms and orders corrupt into a number of petty observances. Number 247. Dangers are no more light if they once seem light, and more dangers have deceived men than forced them. Nay, it were better to meet some dangers halfway, though they come nothing near, than to keep too long a watch upon their approaches, for if a man watch too long it is odds he will fall fast asleep. Number 248. The strength of all sciences, which consisteth in their harmony, each supporting the other, is as the strength of the old man's forgot in the band. For were it not better for a man in a farum to set up one great light, or branching candlestick of lights, than to go about with a small watch candle into every corner? Number 249. Wisdom for a man's self is, in many branches thereof, a depraved thing. It is the wisdom of rats, that will be sure to leave a house somewhat before it fall. It is the wisdom of the fox, that thrusts out the badger who digged and made room for him. It is the wisdom of crocodiles, that shed tears when they would devour. Number 250. He that dies in an earnest pursuit is like one that is wounded in hot blood, who, for the time, scarce feels the hurt, and therefore a mind fixed and bent upon somewhat that is good doth avert the dolours of death, but above all, believe it,